So apparently the definition of a library is having 1,000 books, and I want to own a fantasy library one day. So I went out over the past year and I accumulated around 100 more books to my library. And today we're going to be looking at every single one. Okay, I know 100 books is a lot, but I will actually be saving the best book mail I think I might have received for the very end. So make sure to stick to the end. It'll be worth it, I promise you. All right, let's start this insane book haul. Make a tea or something. I need hydration for this. This is going to be long. Sit back and enjoy, because I'll show you. Look at this. Look at the state here. Ignore the mess in the back, but look at... You can't even see it. You'll see soon. I have an insane amount of books on the floor, and that's like 50% of the books. So let's start. So, first book of this insanely long book haul ambition to create a fantasy library is The Scour by Richard Swan. So this is an art copy I received from Grimdark magazine. I love Richard Swan. I think he's one of the most underrated modern fantasy authors. If you like politics, fantasy, horror, and just beautiful, brilliant writing, you need to check out Richard Swan. Almost finished with this one, and it's so good. So that's the first book. The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu. This is the broken binding edition. Absolutely stunning. I won't be able to show you all the art inside and papers and stuff, because otherwise this video will never end. Love this book. I read it recently. It's a masterpiece. But book 2, The Dark Forest, also the broken binding edition, is even better made. This book blew my mind. I've actually made a full spoiler-free dedicated review for this series. It's insane. You need to pick it up. And the third and final book in the Three-Body Problem, Death's End, which I haven't picked up yet. This is a chunker. Look at that. But again, these covers are insane. Very happy to have these in my, I said fantasy library, didn't I? Sci-fi also counts, okay? Sci-fi counts. Next up, The Outcast Mage by Annabelle Campbell. I don't know much about this book. This is the Inkstone editions. It has really nice sprayed edges. It's signed and numbered. I think Inkstones are doing some great work. And yeah, I'm really happy to have this one on my shelf. Then we have Blood of the Old Kings by Song Il Kim, another Inkstone edition. Again, sprayed edges, signed and numbered. I don't really know much about this one either, so if you think I'll love this one, let me know. Very beautiful, and yeah, it just looks stunning on the shelf, so I'm happy with this. Then we have Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I feel like if there's one author that is ridiculously much loved and hated when it comes to modern fantasy, it is R.F. Kuang. I think it's because she's very explicit with her themes, and some people think she does a great job at analyzing themes. Other people think she does a horrible job. I haven't read this one, and I actually haven't read Yellowface, but I read the other 4 books she's published. Definitely will be reading this one eventually. I just like her writing. It provokes me in good ways, and she always does something different, which I really appreciate. But yeah, the broken binding edition, it has beautiful spread edges, has a reversible dust jacket, which I won't be taking off here, and beautiful art on naked hardback and everything. So a stunning edition. It's just not signed. That's the only shame about this one. But yeah, love this edition. This is going to be so random, so the books are all scattered. Next book is Last Stand of the Stone Fist by Michael R. Miller. So Michael has actually kind of become a friend over the past year or so. But yeah, he's the author of the Song of Chaos series. So if you're into self-published Dragon Rider fantasy, you will know about this one, but I haven't read it yet. I only read the first book, which is somewhere on the floor as well. Alright, let's do 2 books here. So Gregor Contaxis, he's actually also a patron of mine. He has published these books here. They're absolutely stunning, and he sent me the signed ones with these really cool spread edges. I read the first one. I had a bit of a mixed experience, but I'm sure the second and third are better. And these covers here are badass. If you want to build a fantasy library, you need to have a cover, a book with a cover that is just insane. Look at that. If you read book 2 or 3, let me know if you think I should pick it up. One of the best covers of all time, The Dragonbone Chair by Ted Williams. Look at that. That is insane. Another chunker. So this has become one of my favorite series of all time. Beautiful spread edges. Again, there's so much art on the end papers, which I'm not going to be able to show you, but here's book 2. Absolutely stunning work here. I mean, the broken binding editions are just so insane. But I feel like you know how much I love Memory, Sword, and Thorns, so let's pop these somewhere. It is going to be a bit random, and I probably shouldn't be holding the microphone, because this just makes my life really complicated. I have the other 4 books in the Song of Chaos series, so I know the 4th book in this universe just came out 2 weeks ago or something. Congratulations, Michael R. Miller. But yeah, he very kindly sent me the 3 first book in the Song of Chaos, and then he has another trilogy down here. These covers are beautiful, and I am inclined to maybe give the series another try. Let me know if I will love it. So the only reason why I read the first book and just decided not to continue was because it just felt a bit young. Nothing wrong with that, but I missed a bit of the gritty and stuff like that in the first book, and I am not the only one that said that, so it might just be a me thing, but let me know. Alright, one of the most beautiful self-published books of all time, and I would recommend go do a Google search if you really want to see everything that's in this book. This is the special edition of Gunmetal Gods by Samuel Akhtar, a book I actually DNF'd when I read it the first time, but I think I just was in the wrong mindset or state of mind when I picked it up, because this book is really, really innovative. It's like Middle Eastern, steampunk, grimdark, so cool, but mate, oh, it was so dark and bleak and depressing. I couldn't do it at that stage, but I think if I picked up now, I probably would enjoy it more. And I know he's making more of these special editions, and even though I've only read the 30% of the first book, I feel like I want to pick up the other ones. I probably shouldn't be spending more money on special editions that I'm not sure if I'll ever read, but amazing edition. I would just say this, and it's not sponsored. If you are looking for a beautiful book, check out the Gunmetal Gods series by Samuel Akhtar. I think you can still back them on Kickstarter and stuff. They're incredible. Let's look at some more slipcases. So one of my new favorite series, the Sun Eater series by Ruocchio. So he did this really beautiful special edition of Emperor of Silence. I hope he's gonna do the other ones as well. I read the first book, Emperor of Silence is amazing. I think he only made 940 of these, so I feel so fortunate to actually have this edition. You can see H's face. Again, this is signed, there's illustrations inside of this one, and it wasn't cheap when I bought it, but mate, when I see people online selling this book now, I would never ever have been able to afford this now, so I'm glad I backed it early, and I love the series. I've only read the first two books, but it's become one of my favorites, and believe me, in this video, there will be more Sun Eaters, so just you wait, I'll talk a bit more about Sun Eater. So here we have the first 3 books in the Sun Eater series by Ruocchio. The broken binding edition. Oh no, there's slight damage on the back of one of them. That makes me sad. The broken binding very kindly sent me these, and these are sick. Again, signed and numbered, beautiful art on the end paper, beautiful naked hardback, and I also have the other 2 somewhere on the floor. I read the first 2 books. I gave both of them 4 stars. Really loved them. Everyone says Demon in White is when the series goes from being good to absolutely insanely crazy good. So I can't wait for that. So many people say that book 2 is like a huge step up from Emperor Silence. I found them to be equally as good. I loved Emperor Silence. I found them both to be really good, but no 5-star read just yet. I think it's gonna come because I love Ruocchio's writing. I love the world building. I like Hatrina. He's such a fascinating protagonist, and I do not mind the Dune inspiration, which is clearly in the first book, especially because I feel like Ruocchio has taken Dune and taken it and made it his own thing, especially by book 2. So I would say if you're looking for some sci-fi fantasy, check out the Sun Eater series. It's so good, and also Ruocchio is just such a really nice lad. Talking to him like we're best friends. He's a nice person. All right, next up we have it weighs a ton. This book was not printed for anyone to read. If you could actually hold this, it's genuinely weighs as much as my baby daughter. Of Empire and Dust by Ryan Cahill. If you watch my channel, you know how much I hyped up the series. Now, I haven't read the newest installment, this one, but this is actually a signed and numbered edition. Did you know of the trade hardbacks, there is a signed and numbered edition? There's only 50 numbered editions, and I was really fortunate to get one of them because I read the series actually before it blew off, and yeah, Ryan Cahill very kindly sent me a numbered edition way back, almost before the first book had even come out. So I need to keep collecting these, and these are amazing. I love them. Similar to Ruocchio, Ryan Cahill is a nice lad. Can't wait to read this. I just need to be in the right mindset because now I am a father. I gravitate towards shorter books because this is a commitment. You can kill someone with this. Don't do it, but you could. Alright, you can see in the back here, it's starting to build up. Fortunately, I have quite a lot of space behind. I have so many books to go. I'm getting slightly worried about this. Alright, and now you'll probably start to notice that I do have some unhealthy habits. I bought the first 3 books in the, I don't even know what it's called. City of Last Chances is the first book in this trilogy by Adrian Tchaikovsky. It's a fancy trilogy. They're all standalones. Look at that. These edges are insane. This is the Goldsboro edition. Bought the first one. I was like, I'm definitely going to be reading that. I haven't picked it up yet. Then they released book 2. Then they released book 3. And I was like, if I don't buy these now, then someone else is going to buy them. I'm going to be struggling to find them. So I just picked them up. I suppose if I really hate the first book, I can always sell the whole set and probably someone will buy it. I love these edges so much. And I have read a lot of Tchaikovsky at this point, 4 or 5 books. Quite mixed, but I want to read more of his fantasy stuff. And this is fantasy. So yeah, let me know if you read this one. I know Murphy Napier loved this one. All right, more special editions. edition. So this is the S.A. Klopfenstein. Sorry, I'm butchering your name. Very kindly sent me the first 2 books of his Kickstarter. These books are incredible. They are gilded edges. They have like fake leather, but still absolutely beautiful. They're signed and numbered. Lots of art inside. These books are stunning. I really want to read it because I actually read, and you'll see it later in this video, I read his most recent book, The Children of the Gods, which I've really enjoyed. I definitely need to pick up these ones, especially since I have such nice editions of them. Yeah, let me know if you read these ones. I'm pretty sure I would definitely have a good time, and hopefully I would have an amazing time as well. And then around a year ago, Ken Warner sent me his Kickstarter edition of Wizard. I haven't read this one yet. Absolutely beautiful. Those edges are so cool and very similar to the Shadow Watch. This one has illustrations inside. It's absolutely stunning. I know he's also made special editions of Book 2 and 3. I haven't picked up those yet at least, but really cool, and hopefully I'll get to this soon. But mate, I have so many books here. I just received this one, Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Naylor. So Inkstone sent me this as well. Beautiful sprayed edges. Know nothing about it. Sounds weird and interesting. It's like an AI futuristic kind of novel, I think. I'm intrigued, really intrigued, but I haven't heard anyone talk about this. So this is a beautiful edition. You need to check out Inkstone. Alright, I'm gonna count this as 3. So this is the folio edition of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I love Parnassi. It's one of my favorite standalones of all time. And this is probably just as famous by Susanna Clarke, but it's very different. So Folio made this into 3 different volumes because the first book is so big. Folio, I'm addicted. I wish I had more money. I'll literally buy all their books. Folio, if you watch this video, sponsor me. Send me books, please. Absolutely incredible work. I own not that many. I own 4 folio editions. You'll see some more later on. None of them have been ugly. They're all absolutely incredible. Alright, I picked up this novel here last year, Neverwhere, a classic. I said Neverwhere, that's Neil Gaiman. Don't want to mention his name on this channel anymore, sorry. The Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende. So I actually met the illustrator at Worldcon last year. She was there and she was like, I have folio editions. If you want me to sign it, I'll sign it. So I bought this one. It's actually signed by the illustrator. Absolutely incredibly beautiful edition. Another classic I haven't picked up yet. I picked this up only because I met the illustrator and she was so nice and this book was so beautiful. I want to read this year because I know everyone that has read it talks so highly of it. And then occasionally you find really weird finds in charity shops. I found A Christmas Carol, the folio edition, for £5. It's illustrated, it has slipcover, and obviously a classic. What does it say here? £9. Still an absolute bargain folio. Had to pick up this one, and hopefully I'll read it for the first time this Christmas. I know I haven't read it. I watched the movie several times. I love the Jim Carrey one, animated one. So good. Let's look at some paperbacks really quickly. Went to a charity shop, found a Game of Thrones. Weird enough, I don't own a physical copy, and I hate this one. I would love to get the folio editions one day. I would actually love to read Game of Thrones someday. It would technically be a reread for me, but I would count it as my first read when I eventually pick this up. That's a whole different story. But now I do have a physical copy at least, so yeah, let's pop this somewhere. Priest of Bones, got this for Christmas last year. Really want to read this one. I've heard great things. I've heard it's really underrated. Yep, that's it. And then The Heart of What Was Lost by Ted Williams. Brilliant. I read this recently. It's not as good as the other 3 books, Remember Sir and Thorn. I just love Ted Williams, and this is a novella. It's really rare to see him write short books, but this is an example. More Sun Eaters. So this is book 4 and 5. I just received these from the Broken Binding. Absolutely incredible. They also sent reversible dust jackets, so you can actually swap these out and get all the spines to match, which I haven't decided yet if I want to do these because I really like the color. It looks so nice on the shelf. So excited about this. The edges, everything's great. Look at this. I'm gonna be so sore tomorrow. Why did I choose a handheld microphone for this video? I swear like the audio is probably a nightmare for you guys. Melissan, Book of the Fallen, the Broken Binding editions. Oh, I just had to get these. Not because I love the series. You know, you watch this channel. I tried this series twice. I have DNF'd it at Deadhouse Gates, halfway point. Twice. I just can't get into it, but these novels are just so ridiculously beautiful. Patrick Leo has done the art direction. I'm gonna put these down because I am getting tired. And yeah, it's ridiculous for me to actually own books that I am not sure if I will read. I want to reread or give it another try eventually. Just feel like every time I pick up my lesson, I learn something new, but mate, those books were just too beautiful. The Broken Binding very kindly sent it to me. I haven't picked up the other ones yet. Might do. I feel like if you want to own a fantasy library though, right? Then you need to own at least a Malazan book because it's so iconic. I feel very privileged to own those books. Let's continue. The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. So very beautiful again. Novel I really want to read, but I feel like so many people say very mixed things about this one. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna be sitting like this for this one. I really want to read it. I started A Wizard of Earthsea. I had a mixed experience. I read the first book. I did not enjoy it. For this whole reason that I just didn't really get into Ursula K. Le Guin's writing style. I just felt, I don't know, I didn't connect with it. I read it physically and then I read it audio and then I went back to physical, and none of those were good experiences. But this is a classic and this is a sci-fi and it's incredibly influential sci-fi novel. So need to pick up this one, and it's short. Look at that. This is actually something I could pick up. Sorry, Ryan Cahill. This is so much easier for a new dad to read. And then Bloomsbury book, or is the headline, very kindly sent me Joe Hill's newest book, which is gonna come out in October, so this month. So Joe Hill hasn't published a book in absolute ages, and I haven't read any of his novels yet, but he is out now with a new book, and this book is, Ryan Cahill, you have some competition. This is huge. I need to hear from someone if this is any good, because this is so ridiculously long. And then Orbit sent me some surprise book mail, The Last Vigilant. This just arrived at my doorstep randomly. Haven't heard much about this. Very like an Eye of the World kind of cover, isn't it? Definitely. So I would say this is probably like classic epic fantasy, which you don't see a lot in the modern fantasy landscape. So I'm intrigued. It says in the back here that it's David Gemmell meets Name of the Wind. So it's probably, yeah, definitely in that epic fantasy kind of vein. So maybe I should pick up this one. I'm just so easily influenced by other people's opinions, and when I haven't heard people talk about this one, I'm not as inclined, but maybe I should. Love Eye of the World. This is definitely like an Eye of the World rip-off cover. Guys, the stack on the floor is almost gone, which means that we're getting close to halfway. This might potentially become the longest video on my channel ever. A bit cringe, isn't it? Written on the Dark by Guy Gariel K. Inkstone edition. So I think this is the best Inkstone edition so far from the subscription. I read this with the Fable book club. Hey, I have a book club. Join it. It's in the description. It's great. This is my second Guy Gariel K novel, and I don't know what it is with Guy Gariel K. I feel like his ideas are brilliant. His writing is beautiful. And in both cases, I really connected with the book in the first 100 pages, and then I almost lost total interest in the latter 2/3, and it was the same case here. I love the first 100 pages, didn't mind at all the other 300 pages. I know I haven't picked up his most famous or strongest works, you know, that are universally loved, so maybe I should do that before I give up on Guy Gariel K, because he's such a beloved author, isn't he? Especially if you talk to authors. So many authors love Guy Gariel K. Heliotrope. I got this at Worldcon last year. I met the author randomly, interviewed her for a video, and she was like, do you want a book? A free book. I'll give it to you. You don't have to read it. And this is her novel. She signed it, and it's huge, it's chunky, and that's all I know about it. But the author was nice. Helmer Pickering. Thank you so much for the book. Blood Over Bright Haven. So this has almost become now officially the Broken Binding video, because I keep showcasing Broken Binding editions. This book is beautiful. I read this book earlier this year because The Sword of Kagan, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, fantasy standalone of all time. And now Emma Wong is traditionally published with Del Rey, and she's out with a new fantasy standalone. I had to pick up this one. I loved it. I really did. I felt it was a bit too preachy. That was my main criticism, and also felt the character arc was a bit unrealistic. Nonetheless, I gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. I think most of you will enjoy it. So if you're looking for a standalone, a modern, fresh standalone, you should pick up this one. I had a great time with it. Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. So I got this one for free because it's damaged. One of the greatest novels I've ever read in my whole life. Also made a spoiler-free review of this novel. I can't even start talking about this because this video now will become 2 hours. Try and find some links and post it below. Spoiler-free. You should read this novel. I have to talk about Cloud Atlas. I'll go off the rails. It's so good. And Vera, my friend, my booktube friend, recommended it to me, and I'm so glad I read it. It's good. All right. This is Northern Wrath. I'm actually not sure what the trilogy is called. Tilda Cold Halt trilogy. The first book below down here is Northern Wrath from the Broken Binding subscription. Again, these are some of the most beautiful books I think the Broken Binding have done, especially for a trilogy that is not that well known. I'm really impressed. So I like Northern inspired fantasy. Obviously, I'm a library of a Viking. I feel like I should read this one since I own it in special editions. It's Northern inspired. The author is Danish. I'm not Danish, but the author is Danish. I'm from the Faroe Islands. Very important. And I want to read this one. All right, I'm not sure if you can see, but I've pushed this stack back here a bit further back. I'm building a new stack because I have so many books. So let me just say this. If you never go to charity shops, what are you doing with your life? You're missing out, because I found this in a charity shop for like 3 quid. The Children of Hurin, which I've heard some people say it's as good, if not better, than Lord of the Rings, which is a pretty mad statement. But I found the one edited by Christopher Tolkien and with illustrations from Alan Lee. It's not in perfect conditions. There are definitely some wear and tear on this one. I paid £4 for it, or £3. It was so cheap. Can't wait to read this one. I read The Hobbit this year. So good. I know I'm Fantasy Channel. I'm stating the obvious, but Tolkien, The Hobbit is so good. I feel like I need to reread Lord of the Rings now, and probably also should dive into some of the other works in this world that I just haven't picked up yet. And Alan Lee, can't go wrong with Alan Lee's illustrations. He is next level iconic. Okay, the shortest book, The Wood at Midwinter by Susanna Clarke. Read this one over Christmas. You can read this in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, because a lot of it is just illustrations and there's some text. There's barely any words on each page, so I didn't really understand what was happening, so I want to reread this one, and I'll do it with Susanna probably soon. We'll sit down, we'll have a nice cup of coffee or tea, and we'll read this together because she loves Parnassus as well. Hopefully we'll have a great time. An author sent me a free copy of this book, so yep. Sunrise on the Reaping by Susanna Collins. Vera, my booktube friend, read this one, said it was the greatest Hunger Games novel. Now, I read The Hunger Games as a teenager, loved it, but I haven't read Hunger Games in 13 years. So I'm intrigued by this one. Susanna and I, we read the first chapter aloud together. It sounded good, but 3 months since I bought it, I still haven't picked it up, so need to read it before the movie comes out. Here we have 2 more Inkstone editions, so this is also part of the subscription. The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons and The Water Outlaws by S.L. Huang, also signed numbered. These are really cool. I don't know much about them, so let me know if you read these ones, and let's add them to the stack. You know, I started this video with a Richard Swan novel. I hope it's not buried, because I need to finish that today. The Grave Empire, one of my favorite books of this year. I love Richard Swan. Fantasy, horror, I've said all the things. This is so great. This is a start of a new trilogy. I think you can start with this one, but it's probably better if you start with Empire of the Wolf trilogy. 2 separate trilogies in the same universe. So good. Guys, Richard Swan, pick him up. Love that man. And then the last book on the floor, The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This is the United States arc, and it's signed. Really cool. That is 60 books. The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. So Golan sent me this arc very randomly. I didn't ask for it. It's beautiful, and the reviews online looks really promising. It's coming out in January 2026. I'm intrigued by this one. Oh yeah, we also need to speak about Devils, right? So again, Devils is the UK arc. So incredibly fortunate to have received this from the publisher. So they made these numbered. Only 36 copies, signed by Joe Abercrombie. I got one of them. Such a shame that I didn't feel it lived up to his other work. I gave it 3 stars. I'm going to continue with this series. It didn't live up to the highs I was hoping for, but I gave it 3 stars, and yeah, really happy with this one. And then famous ASMR YouTuber Sharon Elwood. Is that your real last name? Elwood. That's a fantasy name. She sent me an arc of her novel, The Curse of the Soul Waker, and it looks great. I haven't picked it up. I told her, you're welcome to send it to me. I can't promise I'll get to it, but feel free to send it. She sent me this really cool package with like a candle and stuff like that. My most recent book mail, these are the new Of Blood and Bone covers by John Gwynne. So the original trilogy, the original quartet, The Faith of the Fallen, had these similar covers with like weapon on it, and they've now repackaged the sequel trilogy Of Blood and Bone and given them similar covers, so kind of looks like it's the same series now. So yeah, these are really cool. These are so new. The spines are so nice. I don't know why I'm talking about spines, but yeah, so nice. If you haven't read this one, I would recommend it, but read The Faith of the Fallen first because it's so good. And then now we're back at the book I mentioned way earlier, Children of the Gods by S.A. Klopfenstein. Read this recently, really enjoyed it. If you enjoy traditional epic fantasy that is modern, similar to Ryan Cahill probably, check out this one. Lots of dragons, lots of battles, lots of magic and stuff like that. I had a great time with this one, and the cover is just so beautiful. Another arc, so this is by Sarah Mughal Rana, so The Dawn of the Firebird. So they sent me this beautiful arc. This is beautiful. I haven't heard that much about this yet. I'm definitely intrigued to pick up this one. Alright, so probably one of my favorite book mails I received over the past 15 months. Jade City, the Subterranean Press edition. This almost broke me. It was not cheap, but one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Only 500-ish printed. I had to get this one. There's illustrations inside, designed by the author. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it so much, but mate, it's expensive. Don't look up the price, you'll regret it. This is in no order. Back with Grave Empire. So this is the finished copy. So this is the Broken Binding edition. Love this one. Love Richard Swan. Amazing. Please read it. And then the Broken Binding edition of The Devils. I own 3 copies of The Devils, a book that I thought was fine. That is problematic for sure. To sort of Defiant, I may have shown this on the channel in the past. Inkstone edition, so this was one of the first ones on the subscription. I've heard great things about Gareth Hanrahan. I've heard he's really underrated, so I'm really intrigued to pick up this one. It's a really cool, badass cover, isn't it? So I think the whole trilogy is now complete. Yeah, let me know if you think I should pick up this one. And then the novel everyone has been talking about over the past year, The Will of the Many by James Islington. So this is a beautiful cover, but I do have the Broken Binding edition, which only 750 were printed, and they must regret limiting that to 750 because this novel has blown up over the past year on BookTube. I really want to read this year, but we'll see what happens. But that is my hope. Pick up this novel this year. Mate, the Broken Binding really should be paying me. I'm gonna be sitting here. So we have two novels, Black Sun and Feathered Star, and the third book is probably gonna come soon. So this is part of the Broken Binding subscription. These covers are sick, and you know, I've heard a lot of great things about these, but I just haven't picked them up for some reason. But I'm inclined to pick up these ones because, again, they're not that long, are they? Really, really cool. I'm just gonna pick up the speed because as of now, the raw footage is 42 minutes. Take a guess what this is. I'm just gonna showcase one of them. The Raymond Ifai's The Riftforce Saga trilogy, so the first one, a series I have been wanting to read for absolutely ages. I know my brother-in-law really, really loves these, and these covers are insane. Classic fantasy from the 80s, hugely, hugely influential, and now it's bound in these insane covers with sprayed edges and stuff. I think I will love this, especially the sequel trilogy. It's called the Empire Trilogy, which I don't own yet. Would love to read that one maybe first, but have only heard great things about this one, and I own beautiful editions of them to my fantasy library. I found 3 Stephen King novels, £1 each, so £3. Had to pick them up. These are his crime work. Not technically a fantasy, is it? But Stephen King is a legend, and I haven't read any of his crime work yet, so hopefully I'll love it. We have The Colorado Kid, Later, and Joyland. And then, one of the most beautiful books I own, Of Darkness and Light by Ryan Cahill. Need to show you this. Gilded edges, incredible cover, and these are just insane. So it's signed and numbered, only 1500. You can kind of see a bit of the art here. I'm not going to show you everything. Also, one of the novels that has the most illustrations I've ever come across in a novel. It's insane how many illustrations are in here for a self-published book that is limited to 1500. It's incredible. I'm so incredibly lucky to have these on my shelf, but yeah, I had to. I read, like, I was one of the advanced review readers of this novel, so I can't believe how big Ryan Cahill has grown to be since I picked up his, first debut novel of Blood and Fire. I have a first edition of that paperback edition somewhere. I enjoyed it, but I could never have foreseen how insanely massive he would have become. Sealed Empire by Norbert Sivicic. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. So I read this one a couple years ago, but he's now made a special edition with illustrations inside. My name is on the back, which is pretty cool. I've also met this author in person. He's so nice, and I had a great time with this novel, so really happy to have the special edition. And then The Sparrow by Mary Dora Russell, another sci-fi novel. This is part of the sci-fi subscription of the Broken Binding. Beautiful, beautiful edition, but I haven't heard about this novel before. I want to read more sci-fi, so maybe this is one I should be picking up. Alright, a couple more Inkstone editions. Again, let's do the guessing game. Guess what this is? Woo! So, we have The Dance of Shadows by Rockbud Payne, and we have These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs. I must admit, I haven't heard many people talk about this novel. I find it insane almost that Golan's, one of the biggest fantasy publishers in the world, publishes an African-inspired epic fantasy. It feels like no promo for it. This novel has less than 100 reviews on Goodreads, I think, almost 2 years after it's come out, or at least, yeah, around a year after it's come out. How does that happen? The same publisher of Brandon Sanderson publishes a novel that's epic fantasy, and no one has read it. It's insane. The greatest sci-fi novel I've ever read is Hyperion, and again, not a special edition, it's not signed, but incredibly beautiful. It has illustration inside. You need to pick up this novel. I also made a video about this novel. It's so good. Chunky Books, Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. I haven't picked up this one. I'm in a bad Brandon Sanderson slump. Really bad. I don't know when I'll get back to it. I have read Earthbringer, don't have any motivations to pick up Rhythm of War, and mate, almost everyone says this novel is bad. Please, someone tell me it's good. I need someone that I trust to say this is the best Stormlight Archive novel and the best book you read in your whole life. Someone make me feel really excited to get back to Brandon Sanderson because he's one of my favorite authors. I'm just in a bad Sanderson slump for some reason, and I want to get back to him. Alright, so now we have The Tainted Cup and Drop of Corruption. You can't even see it. I read the first book, this one, The Tainted Cup, 4 months ago. Everyone raves about it. Everyone talks about it. It's one of the greatest books that has come out this year in the fantasy genre. It's a whodunit, which generally don't work for me, and there's just something about his writing writing style that, I don't know. I kind of want to pick up book 2, but yeah, we'll see. I read Founderside literally a week ago. I finished it, which is also a novel of Robert Jackson Bennett that is really popular. But again, I kind of understand why people love it, but it's just fine. I don't know. The God Eater Saga by Rob J. Hayes. So I read the novellas. They're so ridiculously, disgustingly grim, but I love them, and I really want to read. It's just so chunky. The Age of the God Eater by Rob J. Hayes. So this is like the main work in this universe, and it's planned a 9-book series. Can't wait to read all of them. But the novellas I read have been brilliant. A lifetime ago in this video, I talked about Guy Garrett Kay. I found in a charity shop really close to me, The Lions of El Rassan, which is one of his most popular novels. It's a first edition in amazing edition for £3. I had to pick it up. I'm really intrigued to pick up this one, so we'll see if that ever happens. And then Grady Hendrix. So for our book club, we read The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which is the most insane title ever. I picked up How to Sell a Haunted House. Really want to read more Grady Hendrix. So in October, join a book club because we are reading Horror Store, which is his debut fantasy novel. And the cover is literally like an IKEA manual. It's insane. So around a half an hour ago, I showed you the Broken Binding edition of Memories Are in Thorn, and I have 2 more here that I haven't showed you. They were on my shelf. My books are all scattered. And then I also got this uncorrected proof of And the Sky Bled. So Soran, who is a famous TikToker, published this novel for the author Esati, and yeah, it's a really cool cover, so really happy with those as well. And now it's been a while, but also The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne came out. Had to pick it up. So this is a first edition signed by the author. These covers are amazing. And then I also got the 3 books by Andy Weir. So we have The Martian, Project Hail Mary, and also Artemis. These are also the Broken Binding sci-fi sub special edition. I love Andy Weir. I didn't really love Artemis. The Martian is great, but Project Hail Mary, this one here, I think it's my favorite sci-fi. I know it's not typical hard sci-fi, it's really character driven, it's really funny, it's really heartfelt, so good. And we're getting to book number 100, I think. My editor might correct me. I think we're on book number 100, maybe not. So let's finish this video with the most important book. And please, if you're here, it's really important to have your attention for this one. It's the book probably that's changed my life the most. One of the key reasons why I keep doing this channel. Can't stop thinking about this book. It follows me night and day, and that is obviously Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Okay, obviously this is not the best book mail I received over the past year. The best book mail... Okay, I'm gonna be a bit careful. It's so hard to say what is the best book mail, but one of the best things I have received recently is this book. Legend by David Gemmell. So this is the Curious King edition, and it is honestly insane. Look at that. This is not a sponsor section, but I did work with them a year ago, and that's why they sent me this. But I'm just showcasing this copy because I'm so excited. It has absolutely stunning end papers. It's signed by Stella Graham, Mark Lawrence, and Justin Sweet, the illustrator, which is so cool. And then it just has loads of illustrations. This copy it just feels like quality. And again, not sponsored, I'm just excited. Curious King has literally just announced they're gonna work on a special edition of Mythaga Wood, which is one of my favorite reads of last year. And also a Wizard of Earthsea. And then they're also working on Farseer, which I unfortunately missed out on the pre-order. But who cares? Very, very exciting times if you're into very, very nice editions.